Welcome to Trifecta Soccer Talk. I'm your host, Tanner Rebello. Today we're previewing New England Revolution v Pumas in Leg 1 of the 2022 Concacaf Champions League Quarterfinals. The match will take place on Wednesday at Gillette Stadium. Kickoff is scheduled for 8 p.m. and the game will be broadcasted on 2DN in Spanish and in English on FS2. Both options are providing streaming as well. This is New England's first continental competition appearance since 2010 and their first CCL appearance in 2008. So for the Revolution and the organization, this is a big deal, right? They haven't done this in a very long time. So we're going to hear from Revolution sporting director and head coach Bruce Arena on what this means to the organization and the team.
I think it's important for any of the MLS clubs to have these opportunities and to see how our league sizes up in CONCACAF. And certainly for this franchise that has had very few opportunities at this level. So I think it's an important game for our club.
Pumas arrived into the Boston area on Monday after their Sunday competition in Liga MX was canceled after a riot occurred on Saturday in Liga MX, which was a truly gruesome and horrendous act that occurred, and it forced the league to cancel their game. So Pumas was supposed to play on Sunday, and instead that game was canceled, so they were able to have essentially what would have been a full week to prepare for this match against New England versus what would have had to have been short rest prior to that. But this is a team coming up from Mexico City, and they're greeted with some really rough New England weather. You're talking about temps in the mid to low 30s throughout the game, as well as a chance for snow. It's going to be above freezing, so there's a chance it doesn't even stick. And the fact that Gillette's actually a heated playing surface, you really shouldn't have any impact from a snow perspective. It might look pretty cool from a visual on television as well as photography, but for the most part, it shouldn't really be a factor in this game. For travel should be pretty good too. But you're talking about temperatures in March, right? Low 30s, so it's certainly going to be a factor here in this game. Ideally, New England's probably in a better position to account for that, given that they're from New England and they play here. But it'll be interesting to see how Pumas handles it. So we're going to go to Omar Gonzalez on his thoughts on the weather and how it can play into New England's advantage.
Yeah, I think the snow, the circumstances, it's going to be for both teams. It's for us. Can we have that mentality of just, so what? Who cares if this is happening? Who cares if it's snowing, if it's hailing, or whatever, what have you? We still have to play the game. The other team has to go through it too. So can we have that strong mentality of, it doesn't matter what's happening, we're coming at you. We're gonna come at you with all we've got.
One of the things that always impacts Major League Soccer in this competition is the fact that they're playing teams that are in leagues that are already in midseason form. From a Pumas perspective, they've already played 8 matches in their league. They have a 3-3-2 record. They're in 8th place, but they do have a +5 goal differential, which is actually 3rd best in Liga MX. So it's really early in their season, but the Revolution have only played 2 matches, so Pumas is in a better position from a match perspective, but also the fact that Pumas actually played in Champions League this year. The Revolution had their round of 16 canceled against Cavalli, and that not only impacted New England's preseason and their plans to prepare for the Major League Soccer, but also it impacted their abilities to really get familiar with this competition, get familiar with the aggregate scoring in Leg 1, Leg 2. Yeah, it would have been at Gillette, but you still have to really play that into. And that Leg 1, Leg 2 aspect is really going to play a factor in this quarterfinal against Pumas, because for the Revolution, yeah, they play on Wednesday at home, and then they host Real Salt Lake on Saturday, and then New England has to go to Mexico and play Pumas in Leg 2. So this is a really critical Leg 1 for the Revolution. And not only do they have to win, because you're at home in this competition that no Major League Soccer team has ever won, and the Revolution haven't been here since 2008, so who knows when they're going to get back. So from their perspective, this is a must-win match, but not only must-win, the Revolution have to win with style. They have to go out there, and they have to at least get a 2-goal differential, because you got to go to Mexico City to play Pumas a week from Wednesday, and that is a tough atmosphere. That to even get a draw in that kind of environment would be, I would say, a miracle. Given the talent and the skill of this Pumas team, they're not playing that well in Liga MX, but it's going to be very difficult for the Revolution to get a result in Mexico. So they have to really try to win the goal differential, and that means going into the away leg with a 2+ goal margin over Pumas, and that's going to be fairly difficult because it's not going to be easy to just beat Pumas at Gillette Stadium. That's certainly going to be a test. So we're going to hear from Omar Gonzalez on his thoughts about getting on the front foot.
I think it's I think it's very important to start off on the right foot, and my hope for tomorrow is to start the game off strong, to go into halftime, even or ahead, and just build from there. For the guys who have the lack of experience, they're going to get it tomorrow, and so they shouldn't be timid. They should go out and play as if it's just another game. Of course, there's more on the line, but like I said earlier, answering some questions, we have a lot of quality, and so we have to bring the game to them. We have to be the protagonist, and so yes, I can do what I can to tell them what it's going to be like and this and that, but at the end of the day, it's just another game. And every game that we step out, whether it be a league game, preseason game, we always step out with that mentality of playing our football. And so if we do that tomorrow, then I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
As I mentioned earlier, Pumas has already played in Concacaf Champions League this year. In the round of 16, they faced Saprissa. They had a 2-2 in leg one draw at Saprissa, and then they came home to Mexico City and they won 4-1. And if you look at that game at Pumas against Saprissa, I watched. It was wide open. There was plenty of chances for Saprissa to score goals, and I think if you're the Revolution and you watch that game, you clearly see opportunities, right, to get behind Pumas and score on them. This is a Pumas team that's very, very efficient, moving the ball forward in the attacking half, but where they lacked, especially in that match in particular, was defensively. They were allowing Saprissa to get in behind, and so there's plenty of opportunities for the Revolution. So I think if you looked at that 4-1 scoreline, I think it's a little deceiving. I think Saprissa actually played pretty well, considering. So it'll be interesting to see how the Revolution approach it. We're going to hear from Revolution Sporting Director and Head Coach Bruce Arena on his thoughts about Pumas, the way they play, and sort of the style that they approach into their matches.
It's an interesting question. A good team. I think they're mid-table right now in their league. I think last year they were obviously close to the top, but it's still early. I think they're about 8 games in Mexico right now. They're a fairly experienced team, especially in their top 6 positions. They play out of a 4-4-2. A team that's pretty solid going forward, good on attacking set pieces, and like most Mexican teams, disciplined, technically good, and experienced. So for our team, it'll be a great challenge.
For the Revolution, their injury report against Pumas has Henry Kessler and Matt Turner listed as questionable. During the media availability on Tuesday, Bruce Arena was asked by the Associated Press a update on Matt Turner. He said that Turner got injured in the preseason match against LAFC, so we're going to hear from Bruce Arena on the status of Turner and when they can expect him to be back.
He got hurt in a practice game against LAFC in LA, whenever that was, in early February. I don't know the exact date. Just a foot ankle injury. Time frame probably a couple of weeks from now that he'll be available.
That's it here for Trifecta Soccer Talk. I've been your host, Tanner Rebello. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Tanner Rebello. This show is available on YouTube, Facebook, our website, as well as in podcast form on SoundCloud, Apple, Google Music, Amazon, anywhere you can get podcasts is going to be available there. We'll be back to recap Pumas v Revolution, likely on Thursday, and that'll also be sort of a preview as well to the Real Salt Lake match in Major League Soccer this weekend, which the Revolution have 7:30 on Saturday. So we'll be back. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for subscribing.